faculty members and fellow students. I'm Kamachi, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all alongside my Suyash to this remarkable
Kama-
gathering.
Kamakshi, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. It's difficult to hear what she is.
We have the mic open. It's open now. We're
Yeah,
here today to celebrate the
yeah, I
incredible
can hear now. Yeah, sorry.
friends and to share stories that have shaped and
Hello.
inspired.
Before we begin proceedings, I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your busy lives to be here today. Whether you are joining us in person or virtually, we are thrilled to have you as a part of our extended NIT family.
Now, to kick off that will allow us to strengthen our alumni network and continue to build on the legacy of NIT Kurukshetra. So whether you're here to learn, share, or just reconnect, find the experience enriching and memorable.
Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Dean Students Welfare, Professor Dikshit Garswar, Professor in charge Alumni Affairs Cell, Professor Pratibha Agrawal ma'am, Faculty in charges Alumni Affairs Cell, and other dignitaries. To formally commence our Alumni Colloquium, I am delighted to introduce Mr. Ramesh Kumar, an esteemed alumnus of NIT from the 1986 batch. Ramesh Kumar, a civil engineering graduate from NIT Kurukshetra, is a chartered engineer in the United Kingdom with 34 plus years of global experience in engineering, sustainability, and innovation. As MD of RH Engineers in the United Kingdom, he leads projects in green technologies and AI-driven solutions. He has worked with Mott McDonald, Warren Parsons, and BAE while actively mentoring young professionals.
Now, I would like to ask Professor Pratibha Agrawal for the formal welcome of our speaker, Mr. Ramesh Kumar.
Thank you. So, sir, I'm formally welcoming you, and it is a great pleasure that we are able to have you here at our weekly colloquium series, which is being held every Wednesday throughout the semester. This platform is basically dedicated to inspiring, enlightening, and sparking curiosity by bringing accomplished professionals and thought leaders to share their journeys and insights. The students have already given a brief journey of the Shri Ramesh Kumar ji. He is the alumni of 81-86 batch, and he is at present uh, uh, managing two companies in UK, RAG Engineers Limited, and proposed one is the Vision 360 International Limited. So this Vision 360 International Limited, which is currently in progress, is a pioneering initiative aimed at attracting and mentoring talented professionals worldwide. This company focuses on career guidance, supporting startups in net zero initiatives and emerging digital technologies, and helping entrepreneurs realize their global aspirations. So, with his vast experience and remarkable contributions, Shri Ramesh Kumar is an inspiring speaker for today's session. Let us extend a warm welcome to him with a great applause.
Oh,
So, handing
thank,
over to you.
yeah. Thank you, Pratibha. Thank you so much, and thank you, Kamakshi and other who welcome me. I am really feel privileged and slightly emotional because uh, I have not visited institute since long, and I'm definitely it's on my card to visit the institute and do something which I discuss on phone that I'm doing some homework uh, to do something for our institute. And like in like in Trump's language, I would say let's make NIT great. Let's make this NIT great. Like Trump says, let America great. Let's say NIT great. So why what exactly we think should be there, should not be there? That's absolutely opportunity, and whatever I can do, I will definitely do. Can somebody hear? Can all? I'm anybody can all can hear me? Okay. So I don't know how to start, but Pratibha asked me to asked me to explain journey. So instead of success journey, I would say success is something very personal perspective for everyone who is sitting here. Anyone, even faculty or any students, they have their own perspective, personal perspective. What's a success? I would I would go through the failures basically. That's slightly don't take it negative, but slightly I'll go through the failures or the some decisions which I made wrong in my career, and then how I build up on those mistakes and committed in my career. Say I graduated in 1986. And then afterwards, uh, honestly, I did not have any plan what to do. A slight plan I had I will do some business, but as you know, most of the graduates talk to each other, talk to batchmates to each other. Okay, we should try some kind of a examination, some engineering services or UPSC or any other services. So I tried. So I did not get full success, but kept on trying. Some wasted 3 or 4 years with no final success. Then okay, I'll do some business. I did some business. I earned a lot in the first 2 years, honestly speaking, and then in the third year I lost double which I earned. So that's again. Then I went back to the drawing board where the mistakes were committed. What should I do? The reason I am telling you that one message I want to give you: careful planning to in accordance with your abilities, in accordance with your resources, in accordance with your portfolio, in accordance with the family circumstances. You have to plan your career very careful, very careful. So these are things. And then I did several things, then went to a college for a lecturer, and then I thought, oh, there's something I lacking because in 1986 we graduated, we don't know the computer. If if I tell you one story, we had one computer in our hostel number two, and one guy like borrowed computer. He was arranging a classes by charging 20 rupees to each to teach the computer, and we saw I think it was 286 or 386 model, something like this. And I still remember in the final year, Dr. Miglani used to head of structure, and he used to teach on numerical methods. I never understood honestly. And Fortran 77 or something language, which only we don't know, but anyway, passed the exam and we cleared the exam. That's fine. But now, why I'm telling you the story? Now the situation is changed. We never worked on any software. I never worked on computer in 86 up to 86. And then, so I thought I'm lacking something in me. I'm not updating myself to what the market needs, how the market has progressed. Then I went back to IIT. I did GATE or whatever it is, and went back to IIT, did my structural engineering, updated my own software, and learned a lot of things, how the things work out, how the new developments are, new technology. But structural engineer, I don't know. Structural engineering was something always had my core. I don't know why I liked it. I really like to solve problems. I looked at the structures all around and see how better structure can be designed. And I did a lot. I did some consultancy in Delhi, and still at that time nobody bothered about structure engineering because everyone trusted on the mason. Like if my mother did not take my advice for building a new room in my, because they believe more in the like a mystery kind of thing, who will tell you how much steel will be put and how much concrete will be put. She will not believe me. Being so anyway, that was a scenario in 1995. Then I started company was some Hyderabad. I went to Dubai for some time, and I didn't like it because of weather conditions. And then I came back from Dubai. Somebody offered me job from Dubai, and the Kirby Building Systems. I was regional manager there, and working as a business development and technical. Still, I kept technical. Why I'm telling all these things, technical all the time. The reason is, once you are doing some engineering, please don't let engineering die. Whatever you do, you can write Python code, you can write anything, any artificial intelligence, everything. Please don't let your engineering die. Engineering is still the core. I'll come back to you on the business model which I have done. Then then some working in Delhi for a few years. So someone from Dublin, Ireland, called me, and then Ramesh, you wanted to work in England, UK. I go, no, I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I don't want to work. I'm absolutely fine. That they came down to Delhi and asked me to meet them in hotel and they made a video. Some beautiful girls came from. I was because we did not see like okay, we at least we got an opportunity to meet some beautiful girls. That's every wrecker has because you some. So okay, we met there and they made a video of me and they sent me a visa, work permit, or family, everything, and then still I registered. And then finally one of my friend told me, okay, you can go there and check it. If it doesn't work out, you can come back. Okay, I came here and then I kept stuck. Then 2005 or 6, I think, maybe more than 20 years, 2004. Then I started working in different companies because of work permit limitations. You have to work under the sponsorship. So various companies, Mott McDonald's and DNV, all international big companies. Then I changed my career to oil and gas, energy sectors, and started developing. Then at some point of time, I thought, no, I don't want to work for white people now. I will employ white people. Absolutely. I don't want to work for this Gora, what you call Gora people. I'll work for myself. Then I started my own company, RAG Engineers, and with the core engineering facilities for core engineering services. Because the place where I'm in Scotland now, and I'm part of Scotland where the oil and gas is Europe capital of oil and gas. I can see the ships from Mumbai coming here for oil as well. So there's around more than 200 rig platforms here, extracting oil from the sea and distributing worldwide, gas and big plants are there. So I switch over. Although I did my BSc engineering, Pratibha, we have 5-year degree at that time, and we did civil engineering, and then changed to structure engineering, then going to dynamic analysis, and then further software I learned, and FEM analysis, all these things. Still, I don't do right now, but still, I feel sometimes any problem comes, the suddenly engineer inside comes out and try to solve the problem. Although I have people working for me, my team is there, my employees are there, but still engineering. So coming back to the company, I started my company with the core engineering services for the brownfield modifications of the offshore, onshore, all kind of things. Then I thought it's very difficult to survive of one line of business. Please note down, because the people who want to be entrepreneur or something always it makes a model of business which they want to develop. So one single line of model business, sometimes you struggle when you at the smaller level, a small company. Then okay, I would like to add some additional thing which are the part of the current changing in the world. Like every if you go any corner of the world now, everyone is talking about two things. One, artificial intelligence. One, talking about net zero. How we are going to decarbonize the whole world. So everyone is doing any part their game. Every country is doing something. Okay, I added these things to my business line. and digital and more advanced technology in digital, developing some softwares for the process automation, for the engineering automations, and this on. And third, I set up a R&D kind of division in my company, which we are like working on hydrogen efficiency and hydrogen electrolyzer. I have already tied up with local university, Edinburgh University and RGU universities for the hydrogen efficiency, and also a startup with the electrolyzer manufacture. These are the alkaline based electrolyzer. So perhaps you may be aware of what is happening in hydrogen. Also, another segment I added is a carbon capture. You can like in power plants where there's a lot of carbon emissions, how you can capture it, store it, dump it, take it, or how to reuse. All these things I studied and kept on studying. Honestly, if I get a chance, probably I'll go back to university again at this stage and do some more studies. That's always I was think that you have to keep yourself updated all the things. Then then I thought okay, I should start something else because now I'm close to 60, so I need to slow down after some time. People work here up to about 70, 75. Honestly, they keep healthy, they keep fit. I cycle, I walk every so that is something why I'm telling these are things which are very, very important in your life. Whatever you do, your health is important. I'll show you some video just to give a flair of the things, how the health and safety are very important in every aspect. Health, safety, environment, so important. Engineering, you know the formulations, you can pick up any formula, you can use any software, anything. But the basic and key thing is how you are manage health, safety, and environment. And I'm going to arrange a lecture on this when I come to India, and maybe more insight where because this is anyway, I'll come back. So then I'm launch a company on Vision 360 International, which will be operational in next 2-3 months. The basic idea of this company is because now the world is very closing in terms of talents, right? Talents can pass across one country to another very quickly. In our time, that was not the case. Only people, some went to America, UK, they knew they want to, or their friends are there, or their relatives there. But in our time, never thought I'll go to UK. The city I am living in, I never knew this city exists on the planet. I never knew that city and city gambling. But nowadays things have changed. It's more global, more connected. So, so I thought, why not to do something for the community, for the people, the talented students who immensely talented, but they need guidance, they need career, they need direction. So I'm launching this business in 3 months. So that will be basically a platform to provide guidance to the students. Although yes, information is available. Every information. You just go on Google, type it, you'll find lots and lots of tons and tons of information. The question is how wise you are to pick up the right information to suit you. Everyone has like a different perception what he or she wants to do, but information is so much available it totally confuse you. Somebody asks me so almost every day I get a call. Oh, what should I do? What course I should do? What is the future? Which university is good? Which these are the very simple basic question we normally I get from the all Indian people in touch with Indian people. Which university should I go? Where from where MBA? I tell one thing. You do one thing which you can enjoy. Have you seen Three Idiot movie? Just follow that. Simple. Which you can enjoy. You do whatever you enjoy. It doesn't. The top seat is always vacant. Top seat is always vacant. There's a lot of rush at the bottom, but the top seat are always vacant. Do what you like. Do what you enjoy, and then you will excel. Absolutely. No, don't go by what other is doing, what other is not doing. He has gone. No, everyone has got a potential. I was not a very like topper or something. I was a normal student. I never like dream of something going elsewhere. But anyway, so this business I'm launching for the career guidance in a very rational way, and also for the startup, inviting applications across the world, and what help we can provide in terms of a guidance, mentorship, in terms of funding, in terms of all these things. So these and third one is I'm going to develop a product design centers in UK, and it's an ambitious plan to employ 800 to 1000 graduates from university on product development. What product development means? The product development, existing product development, where we can reduce the carbon input, where we improve the carbon. We if you go to market, you buy anything, you never think how much carbon has been used to manufacture some product. You never know. That you're sitting in an auditorium, you know there are different gates, different tiles are there, different lights are there, but you sometimes you don't know how much carbon has been. So carbon reduction is not something by machining or something by one carbon capture or one system. Carbon emission is whole world is working all together. How we can make the product sustainable with the minimum carbon using localized technology. This world is. I attend several conferences, national, international here regarding carbon. So everyone is working in their own sphere. So, if, so power plants, what are so there's ample opportunities for you guys to think about it and where you can land up and use your skills for that. So then, so currently I'm like managing two companies and working in these areas which I explained to you. And one thing, very specific passage I want to give you. Why I told you about the failures, so you need to think about it. When the person fails, that doesn't mean end of the world, right? Don't absolutely get depressed. Nothing. And because some bad news sometime here from India, it really I really get emotional. Some students do, but please don't get absolutely upset. There's always a way. If something fails, there is another way. Another fails, there another way. There are definitely ways to explore yourself, explore to your life is very, very precious, very important. And that's the I knew engineering when I came here. The things I learned from here, I can share with you. A few things. One, safety, health, environment. Anything which I design, the first consideration was how you're making this, an example, structural, safe, fit for human use, and minimum interruption to the environment. These considerations I learned, which I never learned in India, honestly, because nobody cares about this. Then another point is duty of care. What you are doing, how it is going to affect your neighbor or your colleague or your family member or anything. So how duty of care you can bring in your day-to-day operations. These are the things which distinguish between the people who work overseas like UK, US or work in India. Work culture. How these things I learned. I if I ask someone of the engineers, okay, some civil engineer or some electrical engineer, go and design a panel, electric panel, go and design a bridge. They will immediately design using software and blah blah blah. So many things. But have you seen the recent happenings? How the bridge fell during construction? Why the engineer did not take consideration how it is safely constructed. It's not engineering doesn't mean only production using software and production drawing. Here we have responsibility being engineering from it's a legal responsibility for me. I'm a fellow that the highest grade in UK Institution of Engineers, Civil Engineers. That's highest grade I was given in London. So that based on your skill, experience, all these things, and chartered engineer as well. And that's a very, very tedious process, very difficult process to get all these things done because you have to demonstrate all your technical skill, your legal skill, your commercial skill, your health and safety skill, everything. So engineer is means in holistic. So be an engineer who thinks literally. I will not say out of box. That's a wrong word. That I don't like out of box thinking word. But it's a lateral thinking, lateral, vertical, horizontal, anywhere. That's what makes the difference between the people who work here and people who work on it. That's a difference. So you should start thinking from engineering perspective. When you make something, design something, you have to make sure that it is designed for the safe use. People are using are very perfectly comfortable, and it is being installed in a safe manner, minimum impact to the environment. These are the considerations I learned from that I never learned from India. And honestly speaking, I didn't know about this thing. Absolutely nothing. Even a dogs are trained, I tell you here, which is don't cross unless the light becomes green. They have been trained on the zebra crossing. They have to when the light becomes green, they for them then they cross. So it's a part of your day-to-day and everything. So I'll show you one 10 minutes video, and if you have any questions, I'm really happy to answer. If I can't answer, definitely I'll come back and I'll show you one video only from the health and safety perspective. And this is the one of the accident happened in UK, one of the largest accident happened in oil and gas industry, which completely changed the oil and gas industry of UK and the world. There's so much stringent laws and regulations came after that, that in this incident around 164 people were killed. And when you see the video, you will find where the mistake happened. Why I'm showing this video? Because an engineer, how a smaller mistake could create catastrophic outcome results. So can I share the screen now, Pratibha? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. My talks may be boring for the students. It's it's so anyway. I'll share the screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On the 6th of July 1988, an explosion took place on board the Piper Alpha oil platform situated in the North Sea off the coast of Scotland. It was the beginning of one of the most expensive man-made disasters ever to take place, one which would result in numerous deaths and injuries and change hundreds of lives forever. A later investigation would reveal that, in part, the accident could be traced back to a single misplaced piece of paperwork. The Piper oil field was first discovered in 1973, and little time was wasted in constructing an oil drilling platform to exploit it. The Piper Alpha oil platform was finished and put into operation in less than 4 years, an impressively swift construction process for such a complex build. On board the static platform, you would find all the equipment necessary to extract oil and pump it via a pipeline to an oil terminal on the island of Flotta, part of the Orkney Islands. Piper Alpha also received oil via pipelines from other platforms and piped this on for processing. On board, there was accommodation and facilities for the platform's staff, who would live on board Piper Alpha for weeks at a time. There were shared bunk rooms, as well as a small canteen, an onboard cinema, and a pool table to help pass any free time workers had. In order to maximize safety, the rig was divided into sections with fireproof walls. The accommodation was, by design, situated as far as possible from the oil processing section. Once in operation, Piper Alpha proved extremely prolific. It could pump as many as 300,000 barrels of oil per day. The rig also dealt with natural gas, which was produced as part of the oil extraction process. Initially, this gas would simply be burned off with a flare. In 1978, however, the rig's operator, Occidental Petroleum Caledonia Limited, got permission to process and export this gas as well. This made the already profitable rig even more valuable. but also meant that gas processing equipment had to be retrofitted into the structure. Unlike the oil processing equipment, it was installed in an area relatively close to the employee accommodation.
I just received a marketing plan from a freelancer on Fiverr. It's great. And the way I'll present it.
On the 6th of July, 1988, one of 2 pumps that formed part of the gas processing equipment was taken out of service for maintenance. Engineers working on the pump were unable to finish the job in one session, and so capped off the pump with a metal plate that was bolted in place by hand. An engineer then completed the necessary paperwork to inform the next shift that pump A should not be used under any circumstances. Ideally, he would have handed this paperwork to the manager for the next shift, but as the manager was busy that evening, he instead simply left the paperwork in the control room. At 9:45 p.m., pump B failed due to a buildup of ice. This pump was the only source of power for the whole rig. If it was not restarted within 30 minutes, there would be a complete power failure. The shift manager checked through the paperwork he had at hand to determine if it was safe to switch pump A back on. It was, of course, not safe to do so, but the paperwork stating this was not found. The metal plate which capped off the out-of-service pump was difficult to see during a visual inspection, and so there was no reason to suspect that starting the pump would cause any issues. At 9:52 p.m., pump A was restarted. As gas entered the out-of-service pump, it caused a pressure buildup which ruptured the temporary plate. Gas escaped, triggering multiple alarms. Before anyone had time to react, the escaped gas ignited in a massive explosion that ripped through the control room of the rig. The walls between sections were fireproof, but not blast-proof. Workers in the adjacent employee accommodation section were thrown to the floor or knocked out of their beds by the force of the blast. Meanwhile, many workers within the control room were instantly killed. In any other emergency, it would have been these workers who would have initiated an evacuation. With the control room destroyed, this could not happen. Furthermore, automatic fire suppression systems were not active at the time. These systems drew water from the sea below, and had been switched off so that divers could safely carry out maintenance in the water that day. This combination of factors meant that there was little chance to fight the flames which took hold of the platform, and that the evacuation from it was chaotic. Some workers were able to climb down ropes to lifeboats and life rafts. Others were forced to jump, enduring a fall into water equivalent to jumping from a 40-story building. Many donned life jackets when they realized they would have to evacuate, but were forced to remove them before jumping. Hitting the water while wearing a life jacket could result in serious injuries. Even those who reached the water weren't safe. Oil collected on the surface and caught fire, while burning debris from the disintegrating rig fell around them. Secondary explosions followed the first. In one area, burning oil dripped down onto a platform used by divers. The platform was a metal grating, and the oil should have fallen through and down to the water below, but it was prevented from doing so by rubber matting. This rubber matting had been placed to protect the feet of divers as they worked. Now it caught the burning oil and created a raging fire that heated up an active oil pipeline, causing it to rupture and explode. The semi-submersible vessel Tharos was nearby when the disaster began and rescued several people from the water. It also attempted to use onboard water cannons to fight the flames, but could only do so cautiously. The cannons were so powerful that they would cause injury if they should accidentally be directed at a person. Also nearby was the Sandhaven, which launched a motorboat to pick up survivors. It successfully collected 6 oil rig workers from the waters below the platform. Unfortunately, as it moved to pick up more survivors, it was destroyed by a secondary explosion. All 6 rescued men and 2 crew members from the Sandhaven were instantly killed. On board the rig, workers had gathered in the accommodation block. They were surrounded by smoke and flames and could hear and feel the rig beginning to give way. One survivor, Billy Clayton, later recalled his escape. I remember looking around us, and everything around us, even the cranes, were burning, and the helideck was the only option. 7 or 8 of us went up there, and I can remember waving down to the people below, and they were waving back up, but we couldn't do anything for each other. I was looking down when there was another fireball below us. I fell back and everybody went different ways. There were 2 men holding on to each other, running out of the smoke, and I saw another guy in a white t-shirt just staring ahead. I told him he had to move, but he just kept staring, completely still. The last thing I remember is the orange blur of the lifeboat going past me. Then I woke up, floating face up in the water with this huge burning orange fire above me. I knew I had to get away, so just kept swimming as much as I could until I found someone else floating in the water. I grabbed onto him, chatting away, looking for help. We found a boat and I helped them haul in the guy I'd been floating with. It was only then I realized he was dead. It hadn't dawned on me at all. At 11:50 p.m, the platform collapsed and sank into the North Sea. The search for survivors continued into the next day, and the search for bodies went on for weeks after that. In total, the disaster had taken 167 lives and caused life-changing injuries and trauma to almost all of the 61 survivors. It took 3 weeks for the fire to be fully extinguished. The inquiry which followed revealed a series of issues that complicated and worsened the disaster. Not least among these was that other nearby rigs did not immediately stop pumping oil to Piper Alpha, as workers were uncertain whether they had the authority to stop operations. The rig's operator, Occidental, was criticized for having inadequate safety and maintenance processes, but faced no criminal charges. Over 100 recommendations were made to operators in the North Sea oil industry, covering everything from worker training to clear communication. Additionally, responsibility for safety in the North Sea oil fields was passed to the Health and Safety Executive, an organization solely concerned with safety, where previously it had been managed by the UK Department of Energy, an organization which had been concerned with both safety and productivity. The workers who survived the disaster have gone on to form the Piper Alpha Families and Survivors Association, which campaigns on safety issues that affect workers in the North Sea oil industry. On the 3rd anniversary of the disaster, a memorial statue was unveiled in Aberdeen. It depicts 3 oil workers, one of which is modelled after a survivor of the disaster. Oil extraction continues to this day in the Piper oil field. Piper Alpha has been replaced by a more modern platform, Piper Bravo. While oil extraction will always be a difficult and dangerous job, the people who work there now do so in safer conditions than they otherwise might have in 1988.
I don't know whether this video has some impact. The message I just wanted to give you all guys is the things which I learned during my career and things where I am sitting now. It's because of these safety issues are very critical. Whatever engineering you do, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. Electrical, electronics, computers, whatever you do. Safety is very much top. And UK is fortunately one of the top country in the world which has a stringent health and safety laws. And some of students may get opportunity sometime work in UK, so that will give them flavor how the safety is so critical. And I give another quickly, 2 minutes only. I had an incident myself, personal. I did a mistake. I did not have a driving license, UK driving license. I had a provisional license. I went to the official site using my car, using that provisional license. I was supposed to drive. And when I came back to office, secretary asked me, "Do you have a driving license?" I said, "No, I don't have." So you are legally not allowed to drive. Then inquiry set against me, and I was almost likely to be deported for this mistake. I did, which unknowingly I did, unknowingly. I have hundreds of examples which I can show you, but which people from our country come and unknowingly do mistakes and they put in them to trouble. So the inquiry went on a couple of years, then it cleaned up because I kept on working sincerely and they could look at my behavior, and that I have gone through all these phases, guys. So that's the message I wanted to give. Hope everyone has got the right message. Change your work culture. And Pratibha, I just wanted to ask you one thing. I don't know. So many students are sitting in hall. Do the students know how to exit in case of any accident happening in the hall? Are they be brief? No. Please, I will come to probably I'll spend some more time when I come to you, India, and this is the first whenever any person visits my office and my building, the first thing I tell you in case of any accident, this is the way. You don't use lift, you have to use stairs. This is the way you can go, and it's not. I can give you example. Accident happened in India because of this information not provided. The hall packed with students. I remember in Haryana, 160 of kids from school were burnt alive. That's massive. That pains me actually because of casual attitude, man-made. Why? So these every public congregation, when the kind of people, they should be taught in just in case. Okay, people say, oh, it will not happen, never happened, but it can happen. It can happen anytime. You never know. So every life is important. Every person sitting is important in our home, in his home, in family, in everyone has a say. That's a message. Please, I'll stop here because we have 10 minutes left. So, but I can speak more. But anyway, next time.
We can ask the students to ask if they have any queries.
Yeah. Any questions? Yeah. You can collect the question and you can ask. You can collect.
So they are coming in podium and they are asking.
Okay, no problem.
Hello, good evening, sir. I
Good evening.
I joined this seminar late, but I would like to ask you what is the company's approach to sustainability?
Sorry,
What is the company's approach to sustainability?
your voice. I can't. What is the complete approach to sustainability?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very simple. Sustainability is such a wide subject. Such as sustainability, what such a sustainability means, like anything which can sustain and which can be repeatedly used, right? Which can be repeatedly used without harming to the environment, to the people. So that's a sustainability. What sustainability is like, in case, very simple example, in your kitchen and your hostel, when you start throwing the waste on the road, right? That's not sustainability. You have the bins provided. You can put your dust or any rubbish in, and maybe segregated, which is cyclable and which is non-cyclable, so that you can use the waste field minimum and you can recycle. That's a sustainability. Very simple example. Don't waste the food. Because what you can think, what you can eat, only over. That's a sustainability. Very simple examples I give. Similar for the, if you go for higher equipments, how we can reuse, how we can cycle it, and any aspect, electricity, water, waste, everything. That's a system. Any product you use. So you start thinking in the direction that how we can maximize the use of things which normally you use either in consumer or in professional life, anything, and how you can minimize the waste. That becomes a sustainability. Because world environment has become imbalanced because we human beings has corrupted the environment with a lot of carbon from our activities, right? From our activities. That's the reason why this alarming situation has come. The temperature of the global has gone up, and now people are thinking how you are going to decarbonize. That's a sustainability. Sustainability starts the day you wake up from the bed.
Thank you, sir.
So there is
You,
one question which I also want to ask. You have in your one company Vision 360 is in progress, and you were telling that you'll be helping the students in fund regarding the funds also and for the projects also. We also had
yes.
an earlier discussion. So how can they apply for that particular startups, or if they want to come over there, or they want to have it in here in our country only? So what help we can expect from you?
Yeah. Yes, that once it is operational, Pratibha, I'll send you the link, right? And they have to register. So I have a team of very experienced people who will assess the startup, and then we'll take it from there. That link will be global, and anyone can apply, and depending upon the innovation or startup and what's the scale up, because any student, maybe fourth year, third year, may not know the scalability of that proposal. Maybe he or she will require further guidance how it can be made scalable or what changes can be made, because of the lack of one more thing. I told you that I'm definitely doing some homework. I'm due for my alumni. I'll talk to you separately. I talked to university. The guy came to my office yesterday, and I noted that we are going to have a collaboration because they are setting up all testing facilities. Scotland is doing a lot of things in sustainability, environment, and everything, decarbonization. So I want that the technology, the things we are doing should be shared with NIT. We have plenty of space available in the campus. We have plenty of people there, and we can get a support from government, Haryana government. We can set up a meeting with chief minister, whatever it is, and then definitely we can create a cohort. Like cohort means a startup can work there, set up lab, do their startup, and that funding is available nationally, internationally. You never know. You never know. Definitely, this is on my first priority for the next 2-3 years. I'm going to do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good. Sir, I would
Afternoon.
ask, how does RAG Engineers Limited support workforce development?
That's I explained to Pratibha. R&D engineers. My plan actually, that's my plan. Actually, I was in India a few weeks before, and I was looking for opening an office because it's a UK company. So it's difficult to like engage local people directly to company because of visa and all stuff issues. So I'm going to open an office in Delhi, or I had looked at Bangalore. Then that's a sustainably environmental latest technologies office, all hydrogen, decarbonation. Then we will engage people from apprentice or graduate or what's all to work on the few projects in India and abroad. That's my plan. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes. I have one more question. In which sector does RAG Engineers Limited operate?
Yeah, I explained in the beginning that we are operating in three sectors. One is engineering and design consultancy. Second is digital development, digitization of the various processes, systems, and industry-wise, nuclear-wise, whatever it is, digitization. Third is R&D. R&D means we are developing some tools and we are working on hydrogen and carbon capture.
Okay, sir.
Is that clear? Yeah.
Thank you all for your wonderful questions. I would now like to request upon our Dean Student Welfare, Professor Dikshit Kurukshetra, to please come on the podium for the closing remarks.
Sorry, I couldn't capture your question clearly. Some voice issue was there. Can you speak again?
We are inviting Dean Student Welfare for closing remarks. No question.
Our distinguished alumni, Ramesh Kumar, and we are the alumni of P1 batch admission 81, and the path 46 batch also in the So his start was very useful, and I hope that all of you have enjoyed. And just like this, that every week, we are inviting our substitute alumni so that his experience, his expertise can be shared among you, and you can be also more. Really, today it was a pleasure that our district alumni Ramesh Kumar with us, and just you can see that our students can see that about that 44 years. Like you, and the heights which you have attained. And I'm very sure that all of you also attend the same height, and after some and by the gap of ceremony, all our students motivated, and their career and their life, that is the life, that will be all asked for this, and as our distinguished alumni, they are the real motivated one as students and our institute, and with their experience, our institute in all the areas, maybe the ranking or in all other, and in the fellowship and also infrastructure, the role of the alumni, that is very much significant ideas, and the also divided, and this is also as per the expectation of the government of India, vision of our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and for that, as he wishes that by the year 2027, that by that time, our country should become the richest part, and it should come in the category of the developed countries, and our all the countries, they are playing the great role in the development of the countries, and in becoming our country as a developing countries, in that also the role of the NIT alumni, that will be the enormous.
Thank you so much. Now, as we draw today's colloquium to a close, we want to thank you all once again for being a part of this wonderful event. It's been an absolute pleasure to connect with all of you and share the incredible achievements of our alumni community.
We hope that this session has your sense of pride in being a part of NIT family. Together, we continue to shape the future while cherishing our past.
Before saying goodbye, please remember to stay connected with our alumni network and continue to support the next generation of the students here. We look forward to seeing you all again in the future gatherings every Wednesday at the Senate Hall.
And with that, we bid you farewell for now, but not goodbye. Until next time, take care, stay in touch, and keep the NIT Kurukshetra spirit alive.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to see the young faces asking
Sir,
questions,
thank you
and
very
that
much.
I want.
And we would like to have you here also whenever you are in India.
I also want to announce to our students that in the institute about 1 week ago, one expert on has joined, and she was also here with us, and she sits from lab for your events. As per me, they can take it. Yes.
I would not like to call on the mouth of the podium to share some words with us.